All right, we are back with another Pick'em video. It is Monday, September 8th in the NFL. We got Monday Night Football, which consists of Bears and Vikings. We're going to talk about that, talk about our favorite plays for tonight's game. We also want to talk about the Discord community and how we did yesterday. It was absolutely wild. It's always really fun to start off on a hot mark, but we went crazy. We were up 46.5 units yesterday. Absolutely wild. If you're just a $15 bettor, you were up about $700 yesterday. Tailing all my plays. So really love to see that. We're going to show some screenshots of some of the big wins. And it's going to be a really good season, I'm thinking. So let's talk the game for today, talk about a few plays for the video picks, and then we'll be on our way. But if that sounds cool, go ahead and leave the video a like, comment something down below, and subscribe if you are new. All those things are going to help YouTube push this video out a little bit more, and that always helps grow the channel. So let's hop into the first play. I guess we'll talk about how we did yesterday, but then we'll talk about the first play. So yeah, before we hop into the first play here, I got to do a little bit of flexing. I don't do this often, but maybe I should do it a little bit more just to show you guys, like, this community is freaking awesome. It's fun to talk sports, but we're very profitable. This is not going to be every day. You can see there's 3 days before this. We had some few, losing days, but we're working for these big days. And you can also see my record. Looks like a losing record, right? But we're mostly attacking these, 5-man parlays, 6-man parlays, 3-man parlays. And that's when we're getting up these huge wins just on those 9, wins. I guess it ended up being like 12 or 13 wins over the course of 30 bets or whatever, because we're going for these big money plays. So yesterday on the tracked verified Pickett website, you have to sync your Sportsbooks or your DFS platforms with their platform. You're not even allowed to manually input stuff. So it's very verifiable. 32.9 units on that stuff. And that doesn't even include these DraftKings Pick 6, which I need to get a partnership with them because they're one of my favorite books right now. The payouts are absolutely wild. This is a 3-man, including a discount for Jaden Daniels. We won 11.1x on a 3-man. They did limit us to $10, but I'll take the $111 on a 3-man with a discount. Absolutely wild here. We also had a 7.2x because we got a 20% profit boost. They were throwing us out like candy to us, and hit another 3-man here, turned 15 into 108, and then $25 on a 2-man with the boost for $90. So adding all that up together, we were up 45.6 units. No, sorry, 46.5 units yesterday altogether. Absolutely insane. That's going to bring our profits for the year. Again, big drought in the year in the summer months when we were pretty much betting WNBA and baseball, and we also weren't betting the volume, so it was just a slow tick downwards. But we're up to 148.4 units in 2025, and now we're getting football back, which is just going to continue to add icing on the cake here for us. So absolutely wild. We started off the year very hot, and hopefully we can try to continue that. There's going to be losing days within there, but the winning days just completely outweigh the losing days, especially when you're going for these big money parlays. So had to flex a little bit. Great start to the season. And Pickett's awesome. They can track everything except for pick 6 because it's peer-to-peer and all variable pricing. But yeah, we're going to have an awesome year. So if you want access to all of my slips and just a fun community, I definitely advise you to take advantage of the free month I'm giving away for everyone. There's just a link in the description. Take advantage of a free month of the Discord. Literally no strings attached, cancel before it. You're not getting charged anything, but I think you're going to enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun. So that's how you get access to all my slips and a fun community. Check out the links in the description down below. Let's finally get into the first play, though. Sorry for the rant here, but had to flex a little bit. So now with that out of the way, let's actually start talking about this game and talking about my first play, which I think is going to be JJ McCarthy, going to be getting his first season as a starter here, going into his second year. And I'm looking at his over in passing yards. Now, it's kind of a little bit all over the board. Not all over the board, but you can get this for different prices. Obviously, the best price here is going to be probably on Betr. It looks like FanDuel has this at 220 as well, but FanDuel or Betr is going to be around 220.5, and that's going to be where I'm going to be attacking this line. Pinnacle and Circa around 220.5 and 222.5. PrizePicks all the way up at 224.5. And I want to point out Novig, which is peer-to-peer and really can adjust the line movement and kind of show where the money's being placed by a lot of sharp bettors, is at 231.5. So I looked at the line movement of this line and then the points movement specifically, and a lot of these books, if they are moving at all, is going to be ticking upwards. It hasn't been moved a lot, but good to see the indicators are, specifically this Novig line jumping it up. Like probably a big sports bettor is coming in here and attacking that over and showing that line movement's going all the way up to 231.5. So any indicators in the market do probably favor the over here, and it does make a whole lot of sense for me as well when you start looking at the game overall. We got JJ McCarthy. We have no Addison, so Addison's going to be suspended for this game. And they just got back Adam Thielen, the old guy that has been around here for a while. Took a little hiatus over for the Panthers, but now Thielen's going to be back, and I think it's going to be a perfect guy right next to Jefferson. Jefferson's going to go out there and dictate the coverage for today. Hawkinson, the tight end, he got injured a few years ago, but kind of back to maybe his old self, but he's a guy that can control the middle for sure. And then you got a guy like Thielen who's going to win, option routes and possession routes. Whatever he's going to do, he's going to be a guy that can get open, and he's a veteran dude that can go out there and become another option out there for a rookie, essentially quarterback, to come in here and start slinging the ball around. So I think the other side of the thing for the Bears, if they're going to be offensive minded with Ben Johnson now at the helm there running the show, I think if the Bears are putting up points and McCarthy and the Vikings have to adjust to that and start putting up points as well, I think they're going to put the balls in the hands of McCarthy, and I think we're going to see offensive minded game here. So scoring a lot tonight, I don't think could be too crazy. I'd probably lean the over if you were looking at that over under, but I'm really liking the potential offense here, and the passing yards at 220 for JJ McCarthy sounds about right, and I'm definitely leaning towards the over with the weapons that he has today. I think Thielen is going to be a guy that I also want to look at here, but McCarthy will start with just because it makes a whole lot of sense if it's going to be offensive minded, if they're going to have to, kind of keep up and adjust for more offense in this thing. Passing yards for McCarthy makes a lot of sense here. And then before moving on from McCarthy, I also want to mention just a few other things on the Bears side of things. They're plus 1.5 and they're home. So I think this is either going to be a close game, or if the Bears are up, that's going to be a good thing for McCarthy having to sling the ball a little bit more, especially in a close thing down at the end of the game. Ben Johnson's going to come in here. He's a very, play action heavy head coach, a lot of offense potentially here. They got a beefed up O-line. If they're going to be leading this game, that's more opportunity for McCarthy and the Vikings to be throwing the ball a little bit more. And if it's more of a shootout type of thing, we're just looking for more offense. So again, I probably would lean Bears 1.5. Does that mean I think McCarthy's going to have a bad game? No, I think he's going to have to throw the ball a little bit more to keep up with the Bears offense. And Bears 1.5 sounds probably logical to me. And I think it goes kind of hand in hand, unless, barring any blowout or anything like that with the McCarthy line. So Bears 1.5, I definitely would lean the over as well in terms of the point total, but I'm really liking this McCarthy play to sling the ball around a little bit with the weapons he has for today's game. Moving to the next play here, it's going to be Adam Thielen, and it's going to be over his receiving yards at 27.5, which is available on Betr right now. A couple other books up at 31.5, 29.5, so you could go for 30 plus probably on some books for getting plus money, which is pretty sweet deal here for a guy that definitely racked up some yardage last year, even in a year when he was 34 years old. Moving into this year is 35 years old. Kind of just got picked up by the team a few days ago, or in that trade. I guess not a few days ago, probably not a few weeks ago. But yeah, he's going to be wide receiver too. He's a perfect guy, I think, for McCarthy to come in here and be able to rely on. McCarthy's essentially, again, a rookie quarterback, but a guy like Adam Thielen, a veteran that can find his angles and find his routes and get open. That's going to be a perfect opportunity for him to do this, and especially if Jefferson's getting the bulk of the attention. Hawkinson's going to be another guy that I want to look at as well. But Adam Thielen, I'm seeing 27.5 in a lot of different places. That just seems a little bit too low. Even in the games that he's getting 2 or 3 receptions last year, these are the games he saw 2 or 3 receptions, he was over this line very, very easily in 3 of 4 games. So I don't mind that at all. Again, especially if Jefferson's going to get a lot of the attention on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to see Adam Thielen have to get some yardage if the Vikings are going to keep up with this Bears offense. So really like an Adam Thielen here. You could look at 2.5 receptions as well in looking at the over. I don't mind that option either. But yeah, I'm just going to go to the yards, 27.5, wherever you can find it the lowest. That's where I should be attacking this. And then again, I don't think I'll talk about Hawkinson specifically here in terms of his line, but I think it's in 42.5. I wouldn't mind that either, because last year the Bears, defense was solid, very middle of the road, but to tight end specifically, they gave up a whole lot of yards. I think he played them twice last year. 114 yards and 52 yards. So again, I think defensively, Jefferson's got to be the main look here. He could have a great game as well, but if the offense is going to have to keep up with the Bears offense, there should be a lot of guys getting, throws and looks their way. And I think Thielen and Hawkinson are getting, pretty good value on their lower lines rather than trying to attack a guy like Jefferson at 77.5. This is kind of giving me, on the Chargers side of things, very similar to a guy like Ladd McConkey. He did pretty much what he was supposed to do in that game, but then you saw Keenan Allen have a great game, and I think we could see something like that from Adam Thielen today. So to give some actual numbers here, comparing Keenan Allen's performance to a guy like Adam Thielen potentially, Keenan Allen ended up getting 10 targets, 7 receptions, getting 68 yards, which is awesome. I think he had a touchdown there too. He did. And Ladd McConkey, it's not like he had a bad game. I think he actually ended up creeping over his over. I think maybe we see Jefferson do something like that. Maybe Jefferson has a great game. That'll be perfect for our JJ McCarthy play. But at the same time, I think a guy like Adam Thielen's going to benefit from this offensive minded game as well. And he could have a big game in his return back in, not in Minnesota, but on the Vikings. So to recap, I'm really liking Adam Thielen here. It looks like 26.5 is available on FanDuel, 25.5 on PrizePicks actually. So again, best price you can get. You probably want to attack it there. They're suspiciously low, but again, I don't think Keenan Allen's lines were very high, and he ended up crushing that. That's the guy I keep thinking about when I think of Adam Thielen in this game here. But yeah, I think he's going to be able to cruise over this line. But it is a little bit suspicious how low the lines are. If you think it's too suspicious, go to a guy like Hawkinson. I think that's your second best play here, and it's going to be perfectly correlated with the JJ McCarthy over as well. And I don't think I'm going to try to force anything else. I was looking at the player props on the Bears side of things. I didn't have anything that really jumped off the page to me. I'm just really liking the McCarthy with a Thielen or a Hawkinson. That's kind of the combo I'm going for. And if you want a total or spread pick, again, I mentioned the lean earlier. I like the over in total points, and I also kind of like the Bears plus 1.5. What's going to tell me not to do that, though, I'm going to end up not doing the Bears plus 1.5, is because something like ProfitX is showing that there's $13,000 worth of liquidity, which is essentially meaning that someone on the other side is saying, hey, go ahead and take 13,000 on the Bears plus 1.5 if you want. I'll match it and take the other side. That's typically a sharp sports better. So having that much liquidity available on this line makes me want to shy away from it. If you want to just go all Vikings and do minus 1.5 for the Vikings, that makes sense in terms of data trends and seeing that the liquidity aspect is showing that Vikings -1 is probably the smarter play. There's not as much liquidity. There's not as much available betting volume that you can put down on ProfitX on that minus 1.5. And it's not like there's $500 on this side and $300 on this side. There's $13,000 on this side available to bet. So in terms of me being a smart sports bettor, this is screaming Vikings minus 1.5, but it's going against what my brain is saying for the game. So I'll probably just end up not playing it. Thought that was important. It might be confusing the way that I just described that, but hey, we'll see what it goes. And it looks like people just put down about 10 grand or 8 grand on that. So we'll see. Maybe that's going to move throughout the day, but interesting one. It's going to be something that I shy away from just because there's a lot of movement right now. But the liquidity aspect's something that I do like to go off of, and I'm not going to try to force anything on this spread pick. So that's going to do it for me in this one. To officially recap, I just went on a little bit of tangent with that liquidity aspect. But to recap, it's JJ McCarthy over 220.5 passing yards, and then we got Adam Thielen over 26.5 passing yards. Really good, correlated pick right there. If you want to sprinkle something on Hawkinson as well, I like that. I wish I could attack some Bears lines, but I really was just seeing the value on the Vikings side of things. Hopefully we see a lot of offense. It'll be a more fun game to watch. And, at the same time, hopefully McCarthy's slinging that thing around in his first NFL start. So that'll be fun. Caleb Williams is also a young quarterback in this league. It should be fun seeing these two guys go head to head. And hopefully a lot of offense just makes football a little bit more fun to watch, at least in my perspective. If you want to get access to any of the tools I was using in this, though, OddsJam is, I'm on the Sportsbook screen right now. They got a positive EV tool. This is probably the tool I spend the most time on during the day. There's a link down in the description down below. You can get you can get 25% off your first month, which is a pretty sweet deal. It's an awesome tool. You got to put money in to make money, and that's what I do pretty much on OddsJam. It's a sweet tool. Any of the different tools I use are in the link in the description down below. So I showed PropsMadness a little bit here as well. It's another tool that I use for NBA all the time. It's my number one tool in NBA. They just added NFL. It's in beta right now. They're adding things each and every day, and it's getting better and better. So definitely check out PropsMadness as well. And if you want access to my Discord, again, link in the description down below. I'm giving everyone a free month trial, which is awesome. That will not last forever. Probably going to be at the end of week 2. I'll probably take that away. So definitely take advantage of that. And if you're not on PrizePicks, Underdog, Dabble, Sleeper, any of those different DFS platforms, highly recommend getting on there, at least attacking all the discounts and promotions they give you. Using my code is a great way to support the channel. It gives me a little bit of kickback, and also anytime you use my code for any of those DFS platforms when signing up, you get some sort of deposit match, some sort of free square for a new user. I think Dabble literally just gives you $20. You only have to put a credit card in, and you get a free month in my Discord on top of that. So definitely check out the links in the description down below. It describes it better than I can describe it talking here, and I think I'm yapping at this point. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the game tonight. Good luck with all your bets, and hopefully have another winning day. 32.9 verified units tracked yesterday on the profit side of things. That doesn't include DraftKings Pick 6. You throw those in there, we get 46.5 units up yesterday. We're not going to do that every day. We're not going to do that every week, but if we can replicate that in any capacity on week 2, it's going to be an awesome year. So love to see what we're doing to start the year, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe, all those good things. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.